Hello everybody, welcome to the Contest Round podcast. This is episode 60. I have checked this time, so I am right, which is good. We're available on YouTube, Soundcloud, Spotify and iTunes podcasts. Make sure you're following, liking on those various platforms. That would mean a lot. If you don't know already, I am joined once a week by my glamorous co-host, which is Mr. Dan of Frontline MCOC. You can find it on www.frontlinemcoc.home.blog. And as well on Twitter. Links are in the description down below. Dan, new week. I'm just flummoxed. New content.
Yeah, Rich. Wow. What a week. My head is spinning. There was a lot to digest this week. We had an update in MCOC. We had a roadmap in MCOC. And we had the big update 3.0 in Realm.
Yeah.
A lot to absorb, a lot for our tiny brains to take in, and we need to contemplate the new reality that we are now existing in. Because wow, so much happened, so much news, so much content coming. It's at times like these we have to remember to slow down and prioritize, lest we be swallowed up by the enormity of it all.
That was a wonderfully put, Dan. And I couldn't agree more, because just before we were going live, I was going like, okay, so this weekend I'm putting out a Cavalier boss battle guide, top 5 tips for May, and as well like a variant 7 guide. And like I kind of feel like, even though that content is kind of relevant for the moment because variant 7 was released like 2-3 weeks ago. Right. It still feels like I am behind with getting stuff done. Because like I said to you, like, and a lot of people know, I have set targets that I have to 100% uncollected by Sundays. I have to then 100% Cavalier by the following Friday. And I'm already thinking to myself, I definitely need to do that. Because if I fall back, I will not have enough time to grab and grind any extra additional units I might need to top up my energy refills or revives or whatever before Act 7.2 is released on the 19th. And we've got the side event that's a weekly chapter thing that needs to be kind of like open. We've also got the vote arena that's coming as well. Damn!
Oh, I forgot about that. and then looming down the pike, only a month away, is the June update with Summer of Pain, and it looks like some more endgame challenges as well. So,
and even in
you're not going to get a chance to catch up.
I need to like do Act 6.2, and I need to do Act 6.4. 100% 6.3. That was a bit of a slog, and I need to then plan my champions for my routes of 6.4. I don't know when I'm going to get enough time to do Abyss at this rate. That's the thing. I can't visualize.
Right, yeah, I mean, that's so far down the list at this point.
Yeah.
Especially with some of this stuff that, that might be time sensitive in June, with these weekly challenges in Summer of Pain that's probably not permanent content.
Yes.
That might require revives.
Yeah.
You got to be careful about that, right? So, I mean, just so much going on. So I'm thinking 31.0. That's our update in contest.
Yeah.
Brings us Shang-Chi and Mr. Negative. I don't know. Did you have any chance to test out Shang-Chi yet? Because I haven't, but I've heard good things. I've seen good things.
Yeah, same here.
He looks like the real deal, based on what we're seeing. I guess we're really going to know the hype next week when he hits the arena.
Yes, because this will be the 6-star arena, won't it?
Yes, the first time that we have a 6-star arena, so we might as well just get into it, because it's all bundled together with the update and the roadmap and all that. But yes, Falcon and Shang-Chi are going to be your first 6-star arena. So what a 1-2 punch that is.
Yeah. 2
amazing skill champions, it looks like. I mean, any predictions on a 6-star featured top 100? Like, is that 80, 90 mil?
That I reckon it will go back to that stage. I'm still very much confused by this, and I think that's the thing. As I can't remember who the person is. It's not Golgish or whoever it's put it together. It does say there are a lot of details, but for this post it includes the top points. I think that's what I want to see. Is like I want to see the full information on it, because for me I'm still kind of looking at it and going, will this ruin infinite streaks? Will this have an impact on the extent of not roster prioritization? Because let's face it, you know, you're gonna be like going ham in order to grab something. But I think the milestones and the extent of like how many there are in the respective arenas, and
yes, I think the milestone grinders are going to have a little bit of a shift in philosophy, because it's not going to be as simple as use your 2 stars in the 2-star arena, use your 3 stars in the 3-star arena, use your 4 stars in the 4-star basic, because there's just going to be 3 arenas. There's going to be a 1 to 4 star and a basic arena but you can use your 6 stars in it because you can get a 6-star, and then the featured arena. So it's kind of like you have to choose where you're going to use your 5 and 6 stars to grind those milestones.
Yeah. I think that's it. That I need to see the full details. I also need to see the milestone breakdowns as well, because then I have to like make the decision of going, right, so I'm going into this arena, but I lose my ×3 because if I use 3 stars, am I going to get myself like top end to 4 stars and 5 stars and 6 stars? There's some really fundamental things that need to be addressed, and I think we'll only when it goes live get an idea of the thoughts. I might even next week go live for a kind of arena grind live stream or something.
Just kind of test it out and see how far you get. Yeah, I mean, it really just depends on how quickly you can get through the milestones, because I've seen some people concerned on the forums, the big milestone grinders, like, okay, well, what if you can bang out all the milestones in the basic arena on day 1, and then you can do all the milestones in the featured arena on day 2 and 3. Like it just depends whether it's going to be more work or not. I think that's mostly the concern from milestone grinders. Is it going to be more work, and is it going to impact my unit gain? Because that's why you grind arena. It's for units, let's face it.
Because then if you've got like that's something I might do, is I might kind of like test out and get the number of battle chips you can acquire and whether or not it's going to change, because that's the other thing.
Yes.
Well, we might get that from like full. I shouldn't like maybe.
I imagine they're going to give us a full scoring and milestone breakdown sometime next week.
Yeah,
we'll probably see that on Monday or Tuesday, because the roadmap's very high level. I mean, there's so much of this that we need all the details. I mean, we don't know the rewards for Act 7.2. There's a whole bunch of stuff that we don't know that's going to be impacting us this month.
Yeah.
So, well, let's get into. We're already into the roadmap. Let's get into it. What in the roadmap are you most excited for? Or are you unable to feel excitement right now?
Kind of arena. I think it's the arena.
Kind of arena.
The Dedapalooza I'm up for, but I do have this kind of like, where's this holiday extravaganza for Groot and Rocket? For Groot and Rocket.
They skipped over that one.
Yeah, that's weird. I mean, I'm happy for new players in the prologue initiative and the process in order to get uncollected. I think that's good.
Very positive.
But at the same time, there needs to be the kind of the thoughts that, you know, me and you talk about the idea of like, hey, great, within 6 months you're Cavalier, yay! But you then need 5 stars in order to do other content and take your roster sideways rather than kind of going forward. You need champion acquisition, and will they? That's the thing. Is like, will they sort that out? That's the thing of going, okay, content quick to do, but at the same time, acquisition is not there in its prevalence. Maybe it should be. It's tough to kind of like have excitement for stuff. I wasn't happy with the extent that was kind of addressed for this year for alliance-based stuff, except for the alliance officer tools. That's brilliant.
Yes, alliance officer, the AQ officer coming next month. Mm-hmm. That's awesome. That's something that I know has been kicking around the CCP for a while, and I at least got to sit in on some of those sessions where they were kind of brainstorming that. I'm really excited about the idea of being able to preset the week of AQ, because I literally just had the alarm go off on my phone that I need to start AQ for my alliance, and that happens 5 days a week.
Yeah.
Right? And it's just you just don't need it. It's like they've done so much to help AQ from a stress standpoint of removing nodes and the timers. This is like the last holdout of stress beyond like I have to go win these fights.
Yeah.
So that's great. I'm really, really liking this auto start idea for AQ. Hopefully it's a good interface, but that is like the one holdout from AQ that needs to get fixed. So I'm really glad this is happening. I don't know if your alliance is having the map 8 conversation yet, but mine is.
Yeah,
with the expectation that we will be doing it.
I think that if we don't, because we have started like the conversation of kind of the moving up and certain modifiers and things. I don't know. I'd like to say my future is still with our secondary alliance, which focuses more on the alliance quest grind. But I think it might be a case that I don't know. I might have to not kind of like jump to another alliance, but it's definitely something that's got to be considered, like how deep we go into the competitive nature of things and what we get back, because how the reward structure will be, how the competitive line of alliance quest will change with the map 8.
Right, because you got to imagine the map 8 carrot will probably involve those rank 4 6-star resources.
That will probably be the thing
which is gonna push people to want to do that. I mean, that the top 20 or so are gonna move up day one automatic. Yeah. They have to, and then you'll see probably in the top 100 or so, those alliances will dip their toes in the water. But it's one of those things is nobody likes losing their spot.
No.
So it becomes that arms race every time there's a new map or a new modifier, or new scoring parameter to get back to where you were.
I want to say I'm going to be...
Definitely see that happening.
Yeah, I kind of feel like by the time fall comes, I will have my roster in a position that I'm ready. I'm aiming, even though this isn't like my kind of target, my pledge now, which it was going quite nice. I am going to 100% or try to 100% everything that is endgame content in Marvel Contest of Champions by the fall, and then have a strong rank 3 6-star roster, maybe even a couple of rank 4s. Who knows what's going to go down with that, and then kind of like make my decision from there. Or I've quit and I'm playing a different game. It's either going to be one or the other at this stage.
All right, that's two very divergent paths.
Yeah, exactly. I don't know. It's one of these things where we're just having this weekend. Like I'm just thinking, like we're talking off recording. Like Katie Candy's taking a step back because he just was, burnt out, fed up, and stuff. And like, I'm getting, and I'm kind of like thinking to myself, like I'm not able to enjoy my games as much as I used to, because a lot of the time when I get time to play and enjoy Marvel Contest of Champions, it's like I feel like all I spend most of my time is either recording content, streaming it, and I'm like, can I just like sit in a darkened room by myself and just play the game? Yeah,
you don't want to feel rushed. I think right now everyone feels rushed, and I mean some do, some that don't. Leads you to stress and burnout for sure.
Yeah,
if you're like, well, if I'm not going to be able to do this, what's the point? I think some people feel that.
Yeah.
There's that. It's just, I think there's a lot of positive stuff in this roadmap, but I also understand where some people are coming from.
Mm-hmm.
Certainly, if you're stressed and you're tired, I mean that's
not
completely valid.
Yeah, I mean that's not doom and gloom. It's just a case of like, I think it's just maybe this week, because I've also got other stuff going on. I've got like sponsorship deals that I'm trying to. I have to get done. I think I've got like about 6 like sponsorship deals that I've got to complete, and I seem to be like every time I get a breather, I'm like, oh, I guess I've got to pop this in a crystal opener. I've got to make this video. I've got to play this game for about 5 hours. kind of figure out a way to make an integration for about 2 minutes and then slap it into a Marvel Contest of Champions crystal opening video. It's just it's one of these things where, you know, I need to pay the bills. But anyways, I'm not going to divert away, and I'm going to get back to the core subject of the thing. And also, I don't want to kind of like constantly criticize on stuff, because I did feel a little bit negative towards the fact that a lot of the stuff that I personally would like to see is either dropping in 2022, which is the masteries. That was one of the key things I was hoping they could. I understand Kabam, like,
you wanted that earlier.
Yeah, but this is the thing. Imagine if Kabam were in secret working on the mastery thing at the moment, and that was the reason that the incursions bug happened, that then affected people's masteries.
I hadn't thought of that. Yeah, that was kind of the crazy story of the week, wasn't it?
Yeah, I mean, I don't want to kind of say it is or it isn't, but it's just like one of these things that's saying, if Kabam, are developing stuff which is meant to be this future things, but it's always delayed because every time they try and dip their toe to develop it, it then causes problems elsewhere, then it's a double-edged sword, isn't it?
Yeah, I mean, it's kind of like that with Arena Help. Like, I know I got a message the other day, and someone's like, what are they doing with Arena Help? That's not in the roadmap. It's like, well, they just try to bump it up until it causes a problem, and they can only push it so far so fast, apparently.
Yeah.
So, like, I know they want to do more with help, but it's like, well, if it breaks something, you can't do it anymore.
Yeah, I mean, that's the thing about, like, the live PvP aspect to
the solo competitive?
The solo competitive. Like, the way that they could do that, and the way they did that with... because I want to say that they went on the developer build, so it was built on the developer build, which is what... Dorky Diggity Dave does a lot of those kind of like deep dives and content from, so he'll like log into the developer build, which is it's like a beta, it's like a separate beta, and then what it does is it kind of runs on there. So we had, you know, Chunky B versus not Chunky B,
are you talking about
Summoner
like the Summoner Showdown stuff?
I'm just trying to remember who the people were.
Was it? Anger Danger,
and Satsu no Heidu or something. Anyway, whoever it was that was facing off against one another, that's what it's going to be like. But then the issue will be about the length of time that it takes. I mean, incursions, unless you've got an incursions buddy over comms, it's like, well, will you have to kind of play this over comms? Will it be advised to play over comms? Is it a case that, you know, these kind of solo competitive things are like, it's sort of like a game of chess to a degree? But it's like chess by mail.
Oh, yeah. Remember those turn-based internet games from like the 90s where you'd be like, you had to send the file back, say, I move, now you move, and send me the file back? Oh, it was so wonderfully nerdy.
Yeah.
I used to have a capture the flag game that was like that.
It's like...
Oh, my God. I'm old.
Yeah. No, you're not. No, you're not. Yeah, but it's like, if it was like that, then that's like, you know, how that would... theoretically kind of go down, but yeah, okay. The other stuff that kind of gives me the heebie-jeebies is Relics.
Yeah, I think that was sort of the real hot button. You know, coming off of the rank 4 materials in Deadpool Spring Cleaning and now Relics. You know, I think DNA 3000, as he usually does, put it pretty well on the forums. And he's like, there's 3 paths, and one of them is 7 stars. One of them is adding life cycle to, or lifespan to 6 stars, and one of them is the game dies. Like, one of those 3 things has to happen. We're not going to stop at 6 stars.
Yeah.
So we kind of, as a community, have to decide. Or, you know, maybe not as a community, but individually, we have to decide, like, all right, well, what's our preference? Which way do we want this to go? Because they can't stop, so they gotta give us something to chase. What's your big concern about Relics? Is it the monetization? Is it implementation? What are you thinking?
A bit of both. I think the biggest thing is like from the implementation standpoint is that it will be. The only people that can obtain like them, and it may be like of whatever rarity, because that's the other thing. Like, will relics have a rarity? Will they be only attached to the like 6 stars or something? I think there needs more explaining as to like the implementation point of view. Also, the first acquisition of them, which is very much in the solo competitive mode, and the rarity of them, and what kind of let's say advantages that gives to somebody. Because effectively, if the number one skilled person of Marvel Contest of Champions picks up the most rarest of relic, if there is a rarity system, then theoretically they would be able to do content more easier, which I guess would then kind of like undermine the premise of a skilled person then being given that kind of like advantage. So the other side of things of how that would be implemented from a paid perspective, well, not a paywall so to speak, but will there be those that can acquire a rarer piece, and again, if there is a rarity system, a rarer piece of relic by buying it, then how will that set that person in a competitive light more than somebody that's, say, free to play? And the second part to that is, would that have an implication to someone that does Alliance Wars, Alliance Quest, and if you're a whale and doing Alliance Quest or an Alliance Wars, if that relic gives you I can't ever say it's unfair advantage because it's part of the game, but then you would feel like if I'm a free-to-play player who is in a top alliance, and there are people out there that are in top alliance that are free-to-play, if your opponent is a paying player but has that relic in that kind of like changes the way that they are on a defensive perspective, and also the way that may be able to clear content from Alliance Quest Map 8 perspective, then the line needs to be put in place of, again, we could say what is fair and what is unfair.
Right. Yeah. I mean, I think we have to expect that there's going to be a level of monetization to relics because they will be a chase item. I don't think there's any way around that. I think if you're expecting them to be totally free to play, you're going to be very unhappy. Now, I think there's a big difference between paying to go faster and the payers being the only people able to acquire it.
Yeah.
You know, like let's say like there's a bronze relic and a silver relic and a gold relic, and gold relic is the best one. Like if payers are the only people who can get the gold relic, that feels bad.
Yeah.
Like that I think will be a big problem. If it's just okay, like the payers can get the gold relic earlier, well that's just how free-to-play games work. Yeah. And it's really nothing new. It's just we're calling it a relic instead of a tier 5 basic or a tier 3 alpha or whatever the latest catalyst is, or the latest shard is. It's just how it is. I mean, it, as always with these things, the devil is in the details, but let's face it, something like Relics, which is gear and a new concept 6 years in, is going to, that worries us a little more than like, okay, what's in map 8?
Yeah. At this point, do we kind of like think that with Relics being put in the kind of the argument of free to play versus pay? I mean, I think people would understand. Yeah, okay, people spending in mobile games, and there are people that don't spend, and there needs to be a happy medium.
Yes.
Do we think that then things are set up for more unit deal based things? Like, say, if you go to the unit, like the store, I'm talking like not like the unit store, but kind of the store, and say there's a relic tab, and you get to rotate around your relics, or is it going to be something that's specific? Like it's like saying it's like a profile picture that does stuff, but in essence you can buy with units, which you can grind for free. You spend your units at the featured store or the relic store, and you pick up a relic, and you choose whether or not to grab X stats, Y stats, or Z stats, which may be kind of like increase attack by 500. That's X. Y would be increase armor. Z stat would be increase ability accuracy by X amount %. If this is something that's in there that maybe it's more kind of like basic, then I think that could be fun. I think that might be okay. But then again, it goes back to the point of going, is it good strategy to go and have a champion on defense that has a relic that kind of not exploits, again, I can't say exploits, that pushes the boundaries of the competitive narrative by making the node unbearable for people?
Yeah. It depends what it is. Does the relic give you more attack, or does the relic give you aspect of war?
Yeah, exactly. Like that's the thing of going, like, I think we kind of understand Kabam are doing something, but the full kind of minutiae of something that may seem actually absolutely fine to be put in, what kind of implications it has for the various different types of competitive nodes. Because that's the thing of going, like, if it was just for questing, you go, okay, I'm going to use my Nick Fury with a relic that gives him extensive more bleed damage. And I'm like, then I think people go, okay, Rich is just using it in questing. Thumbs up. We don't have anything to worry about. But then if it's in other modes, you might be going like, oh, I'm not sure about this.
Yeah, I mean, I think it really depends. Can you bring it to AQ and AW? Is it going to be active on defense? Is it going to affect prestige?
Yeah.
That's where it gets dicey, right? That's where you gotta tread real lightly. I just hope they're kind of thematic.
Yes.
Like, I'm just saying, like, there's all this equipment in the universe, right? That could impact a group of champions, right? Whether it's a team, is the relic, say, the Avengers Quinjet, and all Avengers get a bonus? Like, I just love themes, like. Anything that sort of ties the universe together, themes. That's why I like the Ultron room and the incursions, because it just feels thematic.
Yeah, you can have Guardians of the Galaxy with a boombox or a cassette or a mixtape.
Yeah, exactly. Or even it's much smaller level, like web shooters for all the Spider-Man characters, right? Like stuff like that. Just I don't know. I just want to feel like it has a place in the narrative.
Yeah.
So it's not just like, okay, we're adding, so it doesn't feel just like buying a boost. I want it to feel a little bit cooler than just like, oh, I threw on a 30% boost.
Yeah, exactly.
Even though it's kind of a boost, like I don't want it to feel like that transactional, I guess.
Yeah. That's a good point.
Let's see. I mean, we've talked about relics a lot. I mean, I don't know that there's much sense in talking about some of this stuff like 7.2, Grandmaster's Gauntlet, and Summer of Pain until we really see it and the rewards.
You're right. We don't really know much more about
it. But I do want to get your take on Karina's challenge, since those are live and we know what the rewards are. People seem to be diving into them very quickly.
Yeah.
Even the Labyrinth of Legends ones, which surprised me. I think Karate Mike already did the Canadian one on live stream, which is insane to me. But I mean, he's really good, so I guess I can't be that surprised. But 4-star Canadians, and I think he did it in like 3 hours.
I don't know if I could do it. That's the thing. Good for him.
I mean, listen, great for those players that need something to do and that are excited by this. That's the point. This is supposed to be like these challenges are aimed at people who are 100% the game.
Yeah.
Let's not kid ourselves.
But it's like, the thing is, we've only had Cavalier difficulty put up. Like, people 100% Cavalier difficulty in what, 48 hours?
Yeah. Mike's actually live doing the 3-star Loki one right now.
I don't know. My priorities are very different. Like, I'm doing 100% Cavalier and Uncollected first, but I don't know. People have probably 100%.
It just shows that even it seemed like when they got announced, like yesterday, and people saw them, there was this immediate like, these are insane. No one's going to do these. These are stupid. And people are certainly entitled to those opinions. But I'm seeing all these videos and all these tweets and people in my line chats are like, I already did this one, I already did that one. So clearly, some people were waiting for this and wanted to do it. So I'm happy for those people. I will do some of them. I can't imagine I ever do these 4-star Labyrinth ones.
Yeah,
I'd have to be really, really done with everything.
I was messing around with a bit yesterday, and it's like I'd have to literally go. I think I put on Suicide Masters and going on the constant intercept offensive with a lot of the interactions. The problem with me is I do get very bored with kind of like long-winded fights.
And these are gonna be long fights.
Yeah, that's the thing. I think the 3 stars in Act 5 I'm interested in, and I think like what I'll do is I'll see how those go. Those ones interest me the most.
That's probably, I totally agree with you. Those interest me. I was looking at it, I was like, I wonder how 3-star Aegon's gonna do here. Like I'm curious about that. So like some of it seems reasonable, especially when you're like, oh, there's a full 6-star at the end of this.
Yeah.
It's like, okay, maybe get some revives in the overflow, throw on a few boosts. Like, let's see what happens. Like, the nodes aren't crazy. You're just kind of looking at it like, okay. And you look through, it's like, oh, that Hyperion might be tough. Or, you kind of scout in the lanes. But yeah, I think, I don't know, some of those are pretty cool.
Yeah.
And some of them, it's like, all right, I don't want to do the enrage timer with 4 stars.
I think I'll do the, I like the Act 6 1.5.
The X-Men one?
Yeah, with
that's the one you need Rogue for that one, right?
Yeah, I don't know if it's worth me ranking up anything out of that. I mean, Nightcrawler, I like using Nightcrawler. Rogue, I like using Rogue. Storm has her moments, and then Beast. I think that I've got like a rank 4 Rogue. I might rank 5 and then try then use it like throughout the content. But that's certainly nice to pick up. The tier 5 basics. And
I'm thinking you want to bring Beast because there's a good synergy there. I gotta double check that because does he have that with? Oh yeah. You want the Beast Nightcrawler synergy because you get the special attack boost.
Yeah.
Even if he's on the bench.
And a lot of these kind of a lot of these look quite good. I feel like I want to do them because of just what you get back from it. I think the tier 6 and as well the tier 3 alpha. Like that's what I feel like I want to do is that I want to do those. I think I'll start with the 6-star ones, and I think what you're gonna find is there's a lot of people when they get close to completing some of those rank 4 resources and that objective is sitting out there, they're going to look long and hard at that. Yeah. I think it's like it is going to be worth doing. It's just a case of like the time investment to it. I mean, unit investment as well. It's going to be like high up there, especially if you kind of like if you're rocking suicides, then the problem is you're going to be recalling like every which way from Sunday, so it's like, well, I'll have to rotate around SP3s, and it's like, well, do I want to do that?
Yeah, do you want to do that, or probably not. They don't look super suicide friendly. No. Did you see what happened to Cam? Poor Cam. I feel so bad for Cam.
I do as
that
well.
Hurt. That actually hurt to like watch it happen like over Twitter where you see the messages and he's like right there and it was like, oh no.
Oh, what was it like? The thing is, I think Metal Sonic Dude took the tweet down, but I saw like this other thing, this thing where he said, I'm in danger, and what is it? Someone said, I'm just trying to find the tweet. I don't know. I think he might have deleted the tweet, but he put it there briefly. That's it. I found it. Like I'm going to put it on my screen now for people who are watching this on YouTube. But it basically says Metal Sonic Dude goes. So the image first of all is I'm in danger with one Cyclops, and that was the first thing that I kind of twigged. But I thought, maybe you can only do one. So yeah, Metal Sonic Dude says item cost so far. He put 15 revives, some pots. Metal Sonic Dude, why only the one Cyclops? Next thing is, didn't rank the other one, and as long as the objective registers, ranking that one would have only saved me one revive. And then someone says, I think you have to bring both the blue and the red Cyclops in order to complete the objective. And then it twigs. Oh God, I'm asking for confirmation on this. And then it's like the next tweet poor Cam puts is, I've done fucked up. Sorry, I swore, but I don't care. It won't count without both Cyclopses on the team. And he's at the collector.
He's at the collector. Oh, poor Cam. He outsmarted himself there.
Oh, and sure,
we love you, Cam.
Yeah, we love you, Cam. I think of I can't find my tweet that I sent him, but did he? He wouldn't have deleted it. I sent her something that just said like a hugging thing. I just went poor Cam and like a hugging gif. I can't find it, but love you, Cam. Sorry, Cam. Oh dear.
Oh yeah, that's the tough way to learn that piece of information.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness. So I think that's enough MCOC. We kind of talked through the roadmap. We'll get, definitely we're gonna have a lot of content to talk about on the podcast in the next few weeks, which is exciting. We don't have any new MCU episodes to talk about. We'll be back talking about Loki when that drops next month on Wednesdays. Wednesdays are the new Fridays. But we did get a very special Phase 4 trailer with Stan Lee voicing it. All the feels, Rich.
Yeah.
It was great, and we got some footage that we hadn't seen before from Eternals.
Yeah.
Which was cool. I think the big moments for me probably the reveal of the Black Panther Wakanda Forever title.
Yeah.
And of course the four.
Yeah. The Marvels as well. That's
the Marvels, yes.
So I guess that will either take place after so that will link in Monica Rambeau and I assume Miss Marvel Kamala Khan after they do the Kamala Khan TV
you would
series.
Think, yes. Yeah, you would think so.
How that story narrative kind of fits together, which it kind of makes sense. Maybe there's going to be something more to that meets the eye and a reason for all of them to kind of unite, girl power, and all that stuff.
Yeah.
But yeah, the Wakanda Forever thing is kind of it's a weird kind of thing. It's kind of think, well, where are they going with this?
It's tough. Yeah, it's tough. I mean, they've got a huge narrative challenge. But I don't know. When I saw it, I was like, yeah, that feels right. It feels like a great way to honor Chadwick. So
yeah,
I'm hoping that's the way they're going with it.
Yeah, they have some people saying I don't know if they want if they put a CGI version of Chadwick Boseman in, and it's I
can't imagine they do that.
No, I think as well how they kind of play it is that he's passed. Maybe there's been something of a, not a tragedy, but maybe they kind of set it as being something's happened, or maybe that they'll kind of, could it be a case many years have passed and there's a son or kind of a daughter or something. But I think it's more logical that they'll just put the crown on Shuri, or they'll do something I don't know. I really don't know how they're going to do this. Not to say that they should stop doing Black Panther as a film franchise as a result, but it's just one of these things where you go, what story would I be cool with or a fan of, or could see people watching, not just myself? That's a difficult one, isn't it?
Yeah, it's tricky. How do you do it right? I mean,
yeah.
Luckily they've got very, very talented people involved in that project who care a lot about getting it right. So I'm very hopeful they will. But yeah, it was cool to see a little bit of Eternals. I don't know that we learned much about the plot other than just seeing
Salma Hayek in a hat.
Yeah, we know there's a bunch of famous people in the movie.
Yeah,
we're very clear on that.
She's wearing a hat. Angelina Jolie, did she have a sword or something?
I think she did. Yep.
Yeah. I don't know what's going on. Really don't.
Yeah, but that's fine. I mean, we don't really know a ton about the plot of Shang-Chi either.
No,
which
pretty badass.
Honestly, it looks great. I'm excited for it. I'm definitely going to go see it opening weekend, as I would with pretty much any Marvel movie. But I kind of like not knowing too much.
Yeah, I also
about it.
Speaking of which, I'm going to bring it back to an MCOC perspective. I think it was Seaton tagged in Simiyu, or the actor, as saying something about Marvel Contest of Champions. I was thinking to myself, well, it doesn't really look like him in game. The game version doesn't look anything like. I just thought it was a bit of a weird thing to tag him in.
It looks more comic book faithful.
I just imagine if I was picking up, going, "Oh, the Marvel Contest of Champions made a character of me." Oh, it looks more like Bruce Lee. Right? Okay. Great. I think there's a lot of stuff to kind of like still wait for. Like, is it so we like a month from today we get the new Loki?
A month from today is Loki.
That's
First
gonna
episode.
Be cool. That's going to be cool.
Oh, so exciting.
I think we better go and talk about Realm for a little bit.
Yes, let's talk about Realm. It's a brand new game. It really is.
Yeah, it is, because it's got like I kind of like paused because I haven't unfortunately had much time to kind of play it, which I would have liked a bit more time to kind of like get some feelers around it. It's got stuff.
It feels much more cohesive.
Mm-hmm.
Now they've done a better job of incorporating the story. There's kind of this timeline of as you level up in the game and you unlock stuff and you learn a little bit more about the game, and they've incorporated the objectives a bit better, which I really like. Yeah,
the way that the progression side of stuff as you go through the levels, that's really cool. I just wish I had more time currently to play it. I don't know if I'm going to get more availability as, say, the weeks go on. I'm hoping by the second week of this month I might have a bit of time to actually kind of like play. It's good as well, like the further levels you get, like there's a backpack right at level 40, so you get an inventory expansion. So that's good, because a lot of players have been talking about the that kind of like issue of feeling that Kabam are adding more of a premium narrative to what you get. Like, you have to kind of buy in order to grab stuff, so that's good. And like as you said, like as you level up, there's kind of like clues. Like there's a clue at level 35 as to the death of Maestro, so that's nice. And then finally, there's a hidden story that lies within. So that's really cool to kind of like to have those things, the stuff that Kabam would put more of a premium narrative in, and as well, as you said, like following the story side of things. So it is really, it's really cool.
I like that. It's definitely more new player friendly. I don't know. It's a double-edged sword. Like, I'm glad we have this, but I feel like this addresses a lot of the complaints of people who downloaded the game day one and may not give it a second chance because they've already made up their mind about the game.
Yeah.
So that worries me a bit, but I definitely think it's more new player friendly. I've dipped my toes into the Pinnacle Quest thing.
Mm-hmm.
It kind of feels a bit like where they were going with Odin's Gauntlet.
Yeah.
And it's nice to have something where it's not dependent on matchmaking.
Yeah.
Which is just like, okay, I'm going to power up. I'm going to go as far as I can with this. Get to play through with all my different champions, so there's a lot of replayability. I really like that. Seems like they've added a lot of objectives to obtain more ISO to help you rank up your champions, so I really like that. Mm-hmm. You don't have Thor yet, do you?
No, I haven't kind of like.
I don't either. Yeah,
no.
I think you've got to get 1,500 gold Asgardian coin thingies
runes
to get him. Is whatever it's called. I think I've got like what is it? Asgardian runes. It's always a rune.
It's always a rune.
Yeah, I have 300 of them right now, and you need 1,500. So.
Yeah, I did actually forget to log in yesterday, which is it's not good to kind of like to kind of like miss a day of login. I shouldn't have really done that. But I get this is the problem that I have, is like if I invest more time into Realm, is less time I'm investing back into MCOC, which unfortunately, and I think this is like the same thing with last year, like over the summer months when they had the Omega Quest, I just found that like I just wasn't able to kind of like take any time for other games, and that was a problem. And I hope that's not the case this year. I think as soon as I start having that point where I invest in time to like get Act 6 done, and I kind of feel I'm starting to kind of spend a lot of my extra time accumulating units by arena grinding to then invest in my Abyss runs, and the more Abyss runs that I do, I'll be like, I'm just waiting for that moment where I can just go, I'm up to date with MCOC, I can play other games and go, I rather than saying I've wasted 10 hours in one game, I can then and feel chill about it because everything's done in the other. That's kind of the main thing. So it's like it's always it is really like a double-edged sword for me about getting content done. But
yeah,
I really want to get in a grind realm because it does look good. I played a couple of games and found it was a bit smoother as well on the movements.
Definitely feels better. Yeah.
This is and it's the thing that's a little bit annoying because like we are 6 months now after the game was released, and it's like it's annoying because this feels like how the game should have been delivered.
Yes, it does.
And will Kabam bounce back the game from the point of... I'd love to find out the numbers as to like how many people they lost after the first month and say how many more are kind of coming together. I'm getting more like random new people friend inviting me or friend requesting me. So it does give me some kind of hope that people are still kind of interested and still grinding. And I hope the game has a future, but at the same time, we have to really consider about some other games as well. We're still waiting for Marvel Future Revolution. We do talk about it every week. Mainly me, because I'm really excited for it, because I love open world exploration.
Yeah, and they threw that Thanos at us.
Oh my god.
Yeah, no big deal. Hey guys, what do you think about Thanos? You interested in him?
That was just... Everything looks good. The thing is,
they're not messing around.
No, they are not. I obviously don't want to make this part of the podcast to like talk about other games and kind of that we're not really kind of addressing that's non-Kabam. But I kind of feel like if this game really takes off, that we might have to even put it in a rotation to talk about stuff that goes down with it.
It's still Marvel. I think there's a lot of people who play Contest and Realm that are going to at least check it out because it is a Marvel game.
I think we'll try and do that as best we can to kind of like talk about all three games. As a lot we do MCOC first. We talk a little bit about MCU or kind of like Disney Plus kind of like stuff that's going on. A little bit of Realm, and of course we'll kind of try for the last 15 minutes to kind of like talk about something else. But I think we've pretty much kind of like caught up in stuff that we're doing. We didn't talk about the side quest, but in Marvel Contest of Champions. But I think like where are we at a point where we kind of feel this? I think we feel this is a good one.
Yeah, this one's pretty simple. I know I've had a couple people message me and they're like, "Is this worth doing? Like the rewards coming down the pike? Like there's 8,500 6-star shards at the end. So." Just wait. There's some good stuff, and this one's pretty simple.
Yeah.
so I think we all want a simple side quest.
Yeah. I go to arena, grab some rings, do the objectives, grab some rings, then take them in to do the respective difficulties. Chapter 1 is easy. Of course it is. It's going to be easy, but then it's probably going to get more complicated when you need. Maybe a class, even though it says class, you've got it. It may be that you need a class specific one, or maybe it's hinting that you might need a counter for the certain class that's going to be on that ring bearing path, whatever it is.
Right, and you have to beat the last quest with 4 stars.
Yes.
To get the T5CC.
That's something I've got to remember.
So that could be somewhat of an issue, depending on who's on those lanes. And your 6-star roster.
Yeah, like
your 4-star roster. Yeah.
Yeah, they just shove on something like Ebony Moore. There's a Chevron named Mojo.
No big deal.
They do that or something like that just to be kind of like difficult just for the sake of it. I think that this update has had a few bugs and stuff, but at least it's kind of like there's a lot on. The buffs to new champions. The Mr. Fantastic one. Have you kind of like done anything with your Mr. Fantastic? I think you've got 6 out of you.
I don't have Mr. Fantastic. I have Black Panther.
You have Black Panther 6.
I haven't. with everything going on, I have not had time to mess around with these champion buffs, but it seems like as a group, they've been well received, which is usually not the case, right? It's usually like one gets people excited and it's like, oh, we like Crossbones, but Nova got no help.
Yeah.
Whereas I'm seeing a lot of good Mr. Fantastic videos, seeing some solid Vulture stuff. I don't think Vulture's getting as much airtime as the other two, but I think it still seems positive.
Yeah.
So we will see.
Oh yeah, I've got a 6-star Vulture Awakened as well. So I should really try and do some content on that.
Yeah, you should.
Yeah, I keep on bumping up my prestige at the moment. This is something that I'm kind of like on a process to try and like push myself like higher and higher with my prestige and kind of like keep going with it. Because Mr. Fantastic now is kind of like front and center for me, followed by a rank 3 6-star Ghost, and yeah, I'm on this kind of like this push, which will take a couple of months. Like I've kind of bumped up by 400 prestige, and I want to push over 11,000 and get properly into the territory. It's just one of these things where I haven't been pushing the button on rank ups as much.
Yep.
Are you kind of like, where are you up with 6-star rank ups? Are you kind of like, when you make a decision, do you?
Yeah, I just rank 3'd my 6-star champion actually.
Nice.
A divisive move on the MCOC Twitter.
Yeah.
As I kind of expected it would be, but that's fine. I actually do I do like the guy. I do play him a fair bit, and he's he doesn't have huge utility, but he's kind of a tank. Like he's very sustainable. He's fun for incursions. The bottom line is he helped my prestige. I'm in a map 7 alliance. I'm below the average prestige for my alliance.
What is that accuracy?
Our prestige?
What your requirements are?
I think we're at like 11K for new members, and I'm actually just under 11K. So like I'm right on that cutoff line.
It's always very interesting to kind of like to find out where people are at with that. Like I think we're just over like 10 point. No, not 10.5. It might be a bit higher than that. But it's like, yeah, where the kind of the grounds are for kind of like getting higher up. That's kind of the thing really with it. So yeah, it's good. It's good. Champion. I think that's one of these things of like, if there's a champion out there, like the champion, that you like, is to go for it. There's champions that I really like and will like invest in, but like people are like, oh, no, you're not meant to go with that. And I'm like, well, I enjoy it. So
yeah, I think we've all got a few of those, and I could look back a few times throughout the game and made some rank ups that may have seemed controversial at certain times. Like Mephisto was my 3rd rank 5-star. I know some people didn't like that, and he saved me so many items with his tricks and his regen and back when I was playing a lot of Mephisto, we didn't have Doom and Symbiote Supreme, and kind of turning off these buffs wasn't as easy as it is now. Rank 5 Sentinel kind of early on when people were very meh on him, and then it's like all these variants come out and he's perfect for it.
Yeah.
And it's like, and when Domino came out, it's like, okay, like he can handle those fights. It's, there was a while where it was like, all right, Sentinel to war to kill Domino bosses. So it happens. It's don't be afraid to rank up someone you like, that you enjoy.
Absolutely.
I am 5% of a mutant T5CC away from a rank 3 apocalypse, which I think people will be more into. So we're gonna get there. We're gonna get there. One for me and one for the people, I guess.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Right, Dan, what are you up to next week?
Oh man, I got a variant 6 chapter 1.2 guide coming out,
Nice.
and a 75 month account tour. So I do an account tour
Ooh.
every 3 months.
Mhm.
So this is 6.25 years playing MCOC. That happened. So gonna see what I've gotten done. Other than that, just like you, gotta get through Cav, gotta get variants done. Gotta go.
Yeah, I think for me it's a similar thing. I'm even kind of like thinking to myself, like, am I opening myself up to do more live streaming in order to kind of like cover some of the content? I'm just trying to think of what I've got on my list to do. I think a lot of stuff has dropped over the weekend. I want to do a Marvel Future Revolution kind of like vid that kind of like touches up on some of the stuff that's been posted, all these images, but do a Korean challenge or two. And then just a load of little things that I've got on my list that I've got to do. But it'll probably be covering a lot of stuff like the new arena that's dropping. There'll probably be a couple of videos about that. Just everything.
Like 45 videos next week.
Yeah, I wanted to make how to make a jump from Uncollected to Cavalier guide. So that I put on the back burner. I'm going to have to reassess that. And I want to do my grind guides. Like I've had grind guides on my list of like videos to make. For a while, so I want to go back and do that best ways to get units and stuff like that. We'll have to see, but I'll try my best. We'll all try our best, don't we, Dan?
Yes, we will. That's all you can do, and everyone out there, just prioritize. Do the most important thing first, and don't worry if you don't get to everything, because there's a lot right now, and that's how you drive yourself crazy.
Absolutely, little bits at a time, and don't try and stress yourself out. That's what I'm going to tell myself. So thank you everybody for coming on by, listening and watching on YouTube, and we'll be back next week or next time with episode 61. We're all available in the links in the description. Make sure to like them, make sure to follow Dan on Twitter, and as well come back regularly to the site. So make sure to do that at www.frontlinemcoc.home.blog, and we'll see you all soon.